Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Steve McCrawley coming with another video. We got another VGC 2016 Wi-Fi battle here on the battle spot. And today, we're going up against another RayOgre team. I think this is the first one that I've faced in a while. I think they've kind of fallen off because the Xerneas Groudon teams have kind of fallen off as well. They're usually dual primals. So, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But my opponent, I think this is the first RayOgre team I've seen with Cresselia and or Talonflame. So, kind of interesting. I obviously, even though my Venusaur does well against the Kyogre, with him having Rayquaza just bodies my Venusaur, and also I saw the Talonflame and the Cresselia, so I thought maybe they'd have some super effective stabs as well. So I chose not to bring the Venusaur, and I felt like my Porygon 2 would be the better matchup here for the opposing Rayquaza. No, we're gonna go ahead and get this battle started, and we're gonna see what havoc we can wreak. And so here, my opponent starts out with Talonflame and Rayquaza, which was interesting. I was not expecting that whatsoever. And I start with Groudon and Aegislash. So I was expecting a possible Talonflame use, so that's why I started with my Groudon. I could easily go for the Rock Slide and take out the opposing Talonflame. But I wasn't quite expecting my opponent to lead Rayquaza. So it was a little complicated here for me because I know that sometimes Rayquazas carry the Waterfall, which I believe with how my Groudon's Eevee won't take me out, but it still does a ton of damage. And so I go for the Protect here. The opposing Rayquaza also goes for the Protect. So I was like, okay, well that kind of sucks. Could have got some damage off, especially on that Talonflame. I could have taken it out turn 1. And it sets up the Tailwind, which is a little problematic. I mean, my Pokemon are slower anyways. I mean, chances are without the Tailwind, he'd still outspeed me. But here with the Aegislash, I decided to go for a thought-out attack. And just take some damage off on the Rayquaza because I knew this is probably going to be the problematic Pokemon. So here we're going to see the Mega Evolution, which is going to bring in the Delta Winds. And as soon as my opponent did that, because I clicked Rock Slide for Groudon here, I was like, oh crap, that's actually really good because that's going to reduce the damage from Rock Slide onto Talonflame since it's also part flying, so I'm not going to be able to take it out. So that was pretty interesting by my opponent, but he's going to go ahead and go for the Brave Bird here. He's going to onto the Groudon, and we see it doesn't do too much damage, so I think that this might be a little bit of a bulkier variant of Talonflame. So that was the problem with protecting turn 1 Groudon. He's able to double target down my Groudon right here. And both of them combined deal tons of damage, only leave me at 50 HP, about 25, a little less than 25%. But luckily the Rayquaza gets the defense drops. So here comes the Rock Slide. I get the double connect, but you guys are going to see, even though the Delta Stream's up and halves the damage, it still does tons of damage to the opposing Talonflame. That Pokemon's not bulky whatsoever. So we're going to see the Dragon Ascent here. He's going to be able to take out my Groudon, which kind of stinks because that's kind of my answer for my opponent's Kyogre. But, I mean, my opponent did a pretty good job playing. So here, he goes for the Flare Blitz. And here I was like, well, he's probably going to take himself out from recoil anyways. So I thought it might have gone for the Brave Bird or whatever. But so he gets a lot of damage off on the Aegislash. So that's where we can tell. I think usually a 252 Jolly Talonflame with a Flare Blitz does take out my Aegislash, but that one didn't. So I think it might have been EV'd a little bit on the bulkier side. But the Shadow Ball does take out the -2 special defense Mega Rayquaza. So it's a 2-for-1. My Aegislash is at low HP, and I did lose my most offensive Pokemon, my Weather Controller. So obviously my opponent's going to send in the Kyogre here. Pretty predictable Pokemon in the back, and he also has the Cresselia. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, well that's good because with Aegislash I can go for the wide cards against the Water Spouts, Origin Pulses, and also Shadow Ball on that Cresselia. And I send in my Porygon 2 here because to get that Trick Room up, because I'm not expecting my Aegislash to stick around much longer, so I want to get the Trick Room up so that my Dialga can come in and be the fastest Pokemon on the field. So, and we also don't know what kind of variant this Cresselia is. It could be the Icy Wind variant, it could be the Thunder Wave variant, it could also be a Trick Room variant, which I highly doubt. But he goes straight out for the Protect on the Cresselia. I go also for the King Shield. So here we see that I'm slower than him, which is pretty obvious. but I need to get back in the defensive form. I want to heal up some HP a little bit. And we see he carries the Surf, which was interesting to see. It's a little bit stronger than Scald, but it also hits your own Pokemon. But so we see it doesn't do too much damage to Porygon 2, and I do get the Trick Room up. So here with Aegislash, I have a few options. I can either go for the Wide Guard predicting the Surf, or I can go for a flat out Shadow Ball onto the Cresselia, but he goes for the Double Protect, which I found quite interesting. I mean, if this Cresselia is going to be protecting the whole time, I don't know what he's going to hope to accomplish. I mean, why did you even bring it? So I go for the Hidden Power. I want to see what kind of damage I can get off. We see that does pretty much nothing. I'd say it does less than 10%. So he goes for another Surf. I get it blocked. So that's good for me. I got like maybe 30 damage, 20, 30 damage off on that Kyogre. And leftovers recovery. I go for another Wide Guard just because I pretty much have to here. And so I go for another Hidden Power. I just want to get some chip damage off on this, so that maybe my Cresselia or my Dialga in the back can come in and hit it with the Draco Meteor. And so he goes for the Psychic. So that does quite a bit. I mean, so we've seen how much the Surfs do, and that Psychic did quite a bit. And here my opponent goes for the Thunder. So now I see, okay, maybe he's not going to be going for the double target moves here. So I'm like, okay, I hope I go down this turn. I want my Dialga to come in under Trick Room to be able to do some damage. So my Shadow Ball here does over half. That was quite a bit. That's usually what it does to high special defense Cresselia, so that wasn't surprising. But I go for the Recover here because I want to be able to set up another Trick Room because I know it's expiring soon. So luckily my Aegislash goes down here. That's what I was wanting and expecting. And my opponent goes for the Thunder here, so he might have been double targeting the Aegislash, I don't know. But here he gets the Paralysis, and this is a game-changing Paralysis, unfortunately. So my opponent, the Cresselia, reveals that he has leftovers, which kind of sucks because now if I don't take it out soon, by the time I take out that Kyogre, he's going to be at full HP. So it's kind of unfortunate. So here I go for another Recover because I want my HP up for the future Trick Room because I think it's expiring this turn and next turn. And here I go for the Draco Meteor. I feel like this was kind of a misplay because now I'm going to be at -2. I was hoping that I'd be able to take it out. I was like, if I can take out this Kyogre, the game's going to be over. And I don't take it out. They're really specially defensive, obviously. So I feel like that was a mistake on my part because now in this position I'm like forced to go for another Draco Meteor. And we see he just goes for... I'm surprised he didn't go for Surf. I guess his Cresselia is relatively low, but I was still expecting it because that'd do quite a bit of damage to both my Pokemon. So there, the Twisted Dimensions return to normal. So here I want to get another Trick Room up with my Porygon 2 so I can be the fastest Pokemon. So we're going to see the double target here on the Dialga because he realizes that's my biggest offensive threat. And here I go for the Flash Cannon. This is still a misplay on my part as well. I always forget that water resists steel. So even if I wasn't at -2, I would have been able to take him out. So I guess it's also a misplay on my part. If I would have gone for the Earth Power, I would have taken him out. Another Draco Meteor, I would have taken him out. So big misplay on my part as well. So here I'm expecting another double target into the Dialga because he obviously wants it gone. But he's smart. Single targets down Porygon 2 with the Psychic, which still does a ton of damage. I think that did like 50 damage, just a lot. But here I get the Trick Room set up, so this is going to help me outspeed my opponent. So now I'm like, well, I just got to take out that Kyogre, and it's going to be over. So he goes for the Protect. I believe he goes for the Double Protect here, because he needs to pretty much stall at this Trick Room. And I guess it also helps with his leftovers recovery on the Cresselia. Plus, he gets to scout out to see what I'm going to do. And what I end up doing is double targeting that Kyogre. At this point, you guys have probably noticed this battle's been really long. We're about 9.5 minutes in. And I mean, if I played this better, I could have stalled him out as well. Because here's Kyogre's going to go down. So if I would have waited a little bit longer, I'd be like, if I waited until now, I'd win 2 Pokemon to 0 or 2 Pokemon to 1. But we're going to see I go for the Flash Cannon. I probably should have gone, seeing my health, I should have gone for a Draco Meteor, to be honest. Because now he's going to be able to take me out with the Dialga. And he's going to be able to take out my Dialga, excuse me. So now we're stuck 1-1. with pretty much our two bulkiest Pokemon, the ones that have the least offense. So looking at the health, I know that if I have a higher health percentage than he does, then I'm going to win the game. So here I go for the recover, because I'm like, well, with how much I'm going to get and how much he's going to do in leftovers, I'm still going to be at a higher percentage than him. So we look, and right there he gets the special defense drop, which is also pretty clutch on his part. So we look at the percentages. I'm still at a higher percentage than his. And we see times right now, and it says here that I lost. And the reason why is because when it takes into account remaining Pokemon, it takes into account healthy remaining Pokemon. And since my Porygon 2 wasn't healthy, I lose because he has one healthy Pokemon, I have 0. So that's the reason why. So that's why that Thunder Paralysis or changed the outcome of the game, because he was able to win that, even though I had higher HP than him. He was able to win because he had a healthy Pokemon and I didn't. But it's also fine because I hit his Kyogre with a Flash Cannon and a not very effective Flash Cannon, so that was a misplay on my part. But all in all, a good game. It was a really long one. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.